Hello students, myself Mrs. Kirti Pramod Sapare, and today we are going to see second part of the topic recruitment training, evaluation and compensation to a pharmacist. Learning objectives. After seeing this video, the students will be able to define training, enlist topics covered in training, explain different types and methods of training, describe procedure of evaluation and compensation to the pharmacist. Reflection spot, that is question for the students. What do you mean by training? You have to write the meaning of a training by pausing this video. You can play the video once you have done with your answer. Training. Training is a scientific process of improving the knowledge and skills of the employees for doing a particular job. The main purpose of training is to mold the behavior of new recruits so that they can do their job in a most efficient way. Topics covered in a pharmacist training. Following are the examples of certain topics which should be covered in the training for pharmacists, like rules and policies of the organization, routine work such as maintenance of cash book, recording of sales, etc., technical knowledge of selling products, to familiarize with the location of various lines of goods in the shop, approach towards customers, highlights of new products should be known to pharmacists, and handling of prescription. Types of training. There are 5 types of training. We can remind them by the initials IPSRG, that is induction training, promotional training, safety training, refresher training and job training. First is induction training. Induction training is given to the newly employed person in the organization. The policies, procedures and regulations of organizations are made to know them. Second, promotional training. It is given to the existing employees to meet requirement of the highest posts. Third training, that is safety training. It is given to the workers who handles dangerous machines and materials to avoid any fatal accidents. Example, pharmacists are trained to handle radioisotopes. This is the type of safety training. Fourth training, that is refresher training. It is given to the employees to update their knowledge with respect to latest development in the respective fields. Example, Pharmacy Council of India, that is PCI, organizes a number of workshops in order to update the knowledge of working pharmacists. Last training, that is job training. It is also given to newly recruited employees. The instructions are given by the supervisors to the new workers so that they can work smoothly in the new environment. Next part, that is methods of training. Following 2 methods are used to train the employees. One is on-job training and second is off-job training. There are 8 methods of on-job training like coaching and counseling, vestibule training, apprenticeship training, job rotation, understudy, special projects, committee assignments and junior boards. While 6 types of off-job training, that is lectures, conference seminars, special courses, case studies, role-playing, sensitivity training and brainstorming. Let's discuss one by one. We will begin with on-job training. It is a practical training given to employees so that they can learn while working in the organization. The training is very simple and economical. Following methods are generally employed in this type of training. First method, that is coaching and counseling. It is given by supervisors to subordinates. Guidelines and instructions are provided to the subordinates. Second, vestibule or entry training. It is given to the employees after their selection for the job. Example, training given to medical representatives by the company. Third, apprenticeship training. The training is given by placing new employees under the charge of senior or qualified employee. The apprentice or new employee can learn the skills by observing and assisting the senior person. Next, job rotation. Training is given to the employees by rotating them through large number of jobs related. Example, manufacturing chemist working in a tablet section is shifted to capsule section or syrup section to get training in all the manufacturing sections. Fifth method of on-job training is understudy. The training which is provided to the employees who have been promoted to higher level jobs. This is called as understudy training. Next is special projects. The trainee is given a special project which is closely related to his job so that he can be well acquainted with his job. Next, committee assignment. Committee is formed by the trainees. The discussion is done on a various topics related to job in the committee so that the trainees are trained for assigned job. And last method of on-job training, that is junior boards. The trainees are trained by constituting boards where real problems are discussed and also debate on various issues is discussed and finally decision is taken. Next, that is off-job training. 6 methods of off-job training. The following methods are used to give off-job training. First, lectures, conferences and seminars. This is most popular method. The participants are involved or invited from various organizations and from academic field. The participants from different fields present their papers on various topics. Second is special courses. In case of new developments related to the job of employee, they have to undergo special course training so that they can learn the skills as well as knowledge. Next is case studies. After undergoing any project, the written form is given to all the trainees. An analysis is done from following aspect. That is, they have to identify the problem, to analyze the relevant factor, to suggest alternative course of action, and to recommend best alternative for solving this problem. So this is all about case study. Fourth method of off-job training, that is role playing. In this method, trainees are assigned different roles such as manager, workers, customers, turn-wise, so that they understand the problems of each other and can express their views. This helps to develop analytical skills and ability of employees from all the aspects. Fifth type, that is sensitivity training. It is a meeting of small group of members without any planned schedule or agenda. The basic purpose is to develop better human relations by understanding each other. Last method of off-job training, that is brainstorming. A problem is given to a group of trainees and they are asked to give suggestions. The ideas and suggestions which are put forth by individual trainee are analyzed and evaluated collectively by all the trainees to form or to find out the solution. Next part, that is evaluation of the pharmacist. An employer may evaluate his employees on the basis of checklist given here under. The grades good, average and poor may be given on each count mentioned in the checklist, and then consolidated report is prepared so that we can say the evaluation is done on the basis of grades, that is good, average and poor. It is necessary to evaluate a pharmacist because with the help of checklist we come to know the possible weaknesses of the person and further corrective actions can be taken to improve the performance of the employees. Following are certain points on which grades can be provided and pharmacists can be evaluated. Points are appearance, cooperation with colleague, personality, alertness and promptness towards customer, personal acquaintance or personal contact with customers, selling ability, suggestive selling, and self-improvement and product knowledge. So these are the basis on which evaluation of pharmacists can be done. Last part of this topic, that is compensation of pharmacist. Compensation includes salary and other benefits such as house rent allowances, free residential accommodation, city compensatory allowance, medical allowance, group allowance, leave travel allowance, bonus, traveling allowance, other retirement benefits, etc. Compensation can be given by following method. First method, that is by giving adequate compensation amounts. The amounts of compensation should be in proportion to responsibility in the job. Next, by giving incentives. The plan should stimulate the employees to find out the ways and means to make profitable drug sales over a long period. Next, by giving proportionate awards. The pay of employees should be proportionate to the volume of sales made by them. Next, by providing flexible compensation plans. The compensation plan should be flexible enough to operate effectively throughout the year. Next, by giving promotions. Compensation should include promotions in a pay, rewards for continuous, long and devoted services. Next, by providing uniform earning. The compensation plan should enable employees to earn reasonably uniform income in each month. So by using any one of these methods, compensation of pharmacists is done to motivate them, and this will helpful for the pharmacists to work hard. So we can give the compensation amount, incentives, some award or promotions, or by providing uniform earnings monthly. These are the references for today's topic. So, thank you. This ends with topic recruitment, training, evaluation and compensation to a pharmacist. Thank you.